Welcome to the 2010 AEA exhibition, Mentor Video Orientation. We're going to cover exactly what the students are going to be doing in the first half of the project, and then we're going to cover a little bit of the documents that you will find in your Blue Mentor packet. So let's begin. The first thing you might be wondering is, what are your responsibilities as a mentor? And you can refer back to the acronym AGE. You bring AGE to the exhibition. A stands for assessment, and that is the top priority for us. It really is difficult to assess 66 students doing 18 different topics or whatever it is, so you really help us out with that. G is for guidance, so it's also your secondary responsibility to help make sure the students are on task and they're making productive strides towards their goal, that they are going to finish and they're going to be working and they are progressing in the project. And E stands for enrichment. So to the degree that you are able, the stories you can bring or the experiences you can share, or even any experiences you can set up outside of school, like a field trip or some sort of guest speaker or a friend of yours, all of those things really help to just broaden the horizons of the students with respect to the project. Now, on your first group visit from to AEA, you should swing by the front office to sign in as a visitor, and you can pick up your Blue Mentor folder, and I'll be going over some of the contents of that folder in a bit. You can also pick up a mentor name badge and a Blue Mentor pocket notebook to take any notes you might want. Now, the student process is what we'll be working with the students to do, especially in the very beginning, the first 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 weeks of the project. So the first week we've already done. The students have researched and they've chosen their topics, and just today we assigned them their topic for the project, and they know their group members. So we are at this stage. They know their group topic, and in this case the topic is sea invertebrates. Now, this is week 2 that's coming up, and this will be the first week that you can meet with your group. So what they'll be working on is called the Concepts, Questions, and Answers sheet, and I have an example of that to show you. And basically, this is a sheet that the students are working on, and it helps guide their research, and it's done on an individual basis. So each student fills out their own CQA sheet for week 2. And what that looks like with our little diagram here is, you can see Joey's got his subtopic, which is threats to sea invertebrates. Pete's got endangered sea invertebrates, and Jeanette's got people helping sea invertebrates. And each one of them is doing their own CQA paper during week 2 and part of week 3 as well. So week 3, the goal for the end of week 3 is that the 3 subtopics are synthesized into the group topic that they began with. So Pete, Joey, and Jeanette all need to come together to make their group CQA presentation slides. And it's these slides that they will show on exhibition night and that form the skeleton of their presentation that evening. So what that looks like here is, through the process of synthesis, the 3 individual CQA papers about 3 different subtopics come together to make one overall set of slides that encompass all these different aspects of sea invertebrates in the world today. And you'll find that this is actually the most difficult part of the entire exhibition for the students. They don't have too much trouble finding facts and summarizing things when it's about just a specific one topic, but then to really encompass the entire situation succinctly and adequately proves quite a challenge. So they're going to need a lot of guidance in this week 3 and maybe even into week 4 for some of those more challenging topics and groups. So let's talk a little bit about what you'll find attached to an email. This is what you'll find in your mentor folder, your Blue Mentor folder, and I'll send these in an email as well, so you have a digital copy. The first thing is the mentor meeting checklist. It just goes through the steps that you might want to follow when you show up for your mentor meeting. Now, the first week you don't really need to adhere to these steps so much because you're just the students are just getting started. They haven't really done a reflection themselves yet, so there's not a whole lot to assess. At this point, you're just trying to create a rapport with them, introduce yourself, learn who they are, tell them what you're there for, what you're going to be helping with. You can just have a conversation with them for as long as you're comfortable with. We expect you to stay there for no more than half an hour. And then the next week, the week 3 for the students, and your second week as a mentor, will be the week that you do some assessment. So that's down at step 5, which is navigating to the mentor meeting online assessment form, and I will email that to you. So let's take a look at that right now. Now the assessment form that you'll see is going to look something along these lines. It's a green form, and it asks just some various simple questions. Now your assignment is to take a look at what the students have done and assess them. So just so you know what that looks like, I'm going to show you now the students form. And it looks a little different than the mentors form. It's actually blue and it's on the website. Yours is not available to the public because I don't want some students pretending to be you and grading themselves. So instead I email you your form. But the students form is available online. They have to sign in and use it. So they do their reflection and they write 3 paragraphs. First, what were their goals for the week and did they achieve any of them, and what could they improve on, and what will they adjust for next week. So this is what you'll be assessing, and this is how you'll be determining how much guidance you need to provide. So this is their form. They submit this and it gets shuffled into a spreadsheet right here. So this is the spreadsheet. You can see Joe Hartman is part of group number 20. And his paragraph 1 is here, his paragraph 2 is in the middle, and on the right side is the paragraph 3. And he doesn't have any questions or comments for his teachers or mentors. So each week you'll want to look at this spreadsheet, and I can print that out for you if you like, or I'll just be sending you the link as well so you can check in whenever you want. But every Thursday afternoon is when the students will be doing their reflection. So Thursday evening, it would be the earliest that you could check in on it, what your students have done, or what your group has done. And then your job, when you show up, is just to rate these and score these paragraphs that they've done. So you can see, you put student A's name here. Did they arrive prepared? A 4 would be an A, a 1 would be a D. Did they adequately reflect on the past work sessions? Do they have a clear plan for the future? And then you just do student B, C, and if this is student D, you do student D as well. At the bottom are the group goals. Now this would be something abstract, like we're going to be more polite to each other, or we're going to be more on time, we're going to be more prepared. It could also be something more concrete, like we'll have at least half of our CQA sheet done by the next time we meet. So you can think about that with your group, about what the goals should be, and you can write a couple of them down here for the coming week, and then you can assess them the next week. Did you meet all of them, which would be a 4? Or maybe just some of them, which would be a 2. If you have any questions or comments for us, you can leave them at the bottom, or of course just talk to us, or email us. That'll all work. So the last thing I want to cover real quick is just the other documents in your folder and attached to your email. The first one is a rubric to assess their writing. If you're uncomfortable assessing writing, you can use this rubric. It's something of a guide, and all the students are used to seeing this rubric. It's the standard for the grade. This is the subtopic CQA sheets that the students will be working with, so you can get familiar with this, and this is in your packet. So this is what each individual student should be filling out and working on. Then I also included an example of a good CQA. Now this is a group CQA, so this isn't the individual. This is what the girls came together and synthesized, but it's still helpful to see exactly what they came up with, and I think it's quite a good example. There are some areas of weakness, but overall it's pretty good. And then finally, I just wanted to show you what the students do in the end. These are their CQA slides, and these are what they show in their presentation and what guides their presentation. Now in weeks 4, 5, and 6, depending on how fast or slow the students go, you'll find you have a little time to help them with their trifold board and help them practice their presentation, and maybe even do a movie or a play or a skit or something like that with them to help liven up their presentation. So that's all the fun stuff, and I'm sure you're looking forward to it as much as I am. If you have any other questions, you can check out the website. There's a video that can show you a little bit of what you can expect when you show up to the classrooms. And I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you. And thanks again for volunteering. We'll see you soon.